Hey everyone, and welcome to Psych Circles. If you're curious about mental health, psychology, and personal growth, you're in the right place. Understanding our minds is a huge step towards living a more fulfilling life. Here at Psych Circles, we explore these topics in an engaging way. We'll dive into psychological and mental health issues, providing insights and tools. Today, we're tackling Avoidant Personality Disorder, or AVPD. Do you constantly avoid social situations? Is the fear of rejection a major roadblock in your life? Stick around as we uncover 7 signs you might have AVPD and explore what you can do about it. Let's get started. Imagine this. You're invited to a party. Sounds fun, right? But instead of feeling excited, you're immediately flooded with anxiety. What if nobody talks to me? What if I say something stupid? What if people judge me? For someone with avoidant personality disorder, these aren't just fleeting worries, they're intense, overwhelming fears. This intense fear of rejection or criticism is a hallmark of AVPD. It's like a constant shadow, making it incredibly difficult to engage in everyday social situations. Don't we all fear rejection to some extent? Absolutely, it's a natural human emotion. But for someone with AVPD, this fear is amplified and persistent. It's about feeling completely overwhelmed by social interaction. This intense fear leads to avoidance behaviors. These behaviors range from declining invitations to avoiding eye contact. While these tactics provide temporary relief, they reinforce the fear. Living with AVPD is a battle between the desire for connection and fear of rejection. We've all experienced moments of shyness or social anxiety, but for someone with avoidant personality disorder, it goes beyond a fleeting feeling. It's a pervasive pattern of avoiding social interactions, causing significant distress. Someone with AVPD is more likely to avoid the party altogether. This avoidance stems from a deep-seated fear of being judged or rejected. This constant fear makes even simple social interactions overwhelming. Think about it this way. Imagine you have a fear of dogs. Every time you encounter a dog, you cross the street, avoid eye contact, and do everything you can to escape the situation. While this might alleviate your anxiety in the moment, it also prevents you from learning that not all dogs are dangerous. Similarly, when someone with AVPD consistently avoids social situations, they miss out on opportunities to challenge their negative beliefs, develop coping mechanisms, and experience the positive aspects of social interaction. This avoidance creates a vicious cycle. The more someone avoids social situations, the more their fear and anxiety grow, leading to further avoidance. This cycle can be incredibly isolating, leading to feelings of loneliness, emptiness, and a sense of being trapped in their own fears. It's crucial to remember that breaking free from this cycle is possible. While it takes time, effort, and professional support, individuals with AVPD can learn to manage their anxiety, challenge their negative thoughts, and develop healthier coping mechanisms for navigating social situations. Avoidant personality disorder often goes hand in hand with deep-seated feelings of inadequacy. It's not just a matter of feeling shy or awkward, it's a pervasive belief that something is inherently wrong with them. Imagine constantly feeling like you're not good enough, smart enough, or interesting enough to deserve attention or affection. This negative self-image colors every aspect of their lives. They might avoid social situations because they believe they have nothing to offer, convinced that others will find them boring or unworthy of their time. This isn't just about a few negative thoughts. It's a core belief that shapes their entire perception of themselves and their place in the world. It's a heavy burden to carry, and it fuels the cycle of avoidance that defines this disorder. It's important to remember that these negative self-beliefs are not a reflection of reality. People with AVPD are just as capable, intelligent, and worthy as anyone else. However, their disorder distorts their self-perception, making it incredibly difficult to see themselves clearly. This deeply ingrained low self-esteem can have a devastating impact on their relationships. The fear of being exposed as not good enough can lead them to sabotage potential connections before they even have a chance to develop. They might push people away, convinced that they'll eventually be rejected once their flaws are revealed. Their low self-esteem can also prevent them from pursuing opportunities that could bring them joy and fulfillment. Whether it's a promotion at work, a chance to pursue a hobby, or even just trying a new restaurant, the fear of failure and judgment can be paralyzing. This constant self-sabotage can lead to a self-fulfilling prophecy. By avoiding challenges and opportunities for growth, they inadvertently reinforce their negative self-beliefs, perpetuating the cycle of avoidance. It's heartbreaking to witness because, deep down, many people with AVPD have a strong desire for connection and a yearning to experience life to the fullest. However, their low self-esteem acts as an invisible barrier, preventing them from reaching their true potential. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of avoidant personality disorder is the internal struggle between a deep longing for intimacy and an overwhelming fear of vulnerability. Imagine wanting to connect with others on a deep, meaningful level, but being terrified of letting anyone get close enough to see the real you. This fear is often rooted in past experiences of rejection, criticism, or abandonment. These experiences can be so painful that they create a protective barrier around the person's heart, making it incredibly difficult to let anyone in, even if they desperately want to. This internal conflict can be incredibly isolating. People with AVPD might withdraw from social situations, avoid romantic relationships, or maintain a safe distance even from close friends and family members. They crave connection, but are terrified of the vulnerability that comes with it. This avoidance isn't a choice, it's a coping mechanism developed to protect themselves from further emotional pain. Unfortunately, this self-protective measure often backfires, leading to increased feelings of loneliness, shame, and isolation. Breaking free from this painful paradox requires immense courage and a willingness to confront deeply rooted fears. It's about learning to challenge those negative beliefs that whisper you're not good enough or you'll only get hurt. Therapy can play a crucial role in helping individuals with AVPD understand the root of their fears and develop healthier coping mechanisms. Through a combination of talk therapy, cognitive behavioral techniques, and gradual exposure to feared situations, people with AVPD can begin to dismantle the walls they've built around their hearts. It's a process that requires patience, compassion, and a belief that change is possible. With the right support, individuals with AVPD can learn to navigate social situations with greater confidence, build healthier relationships, and experience the joy of genuine connection. It's about reclaiming their lives from the grip of fear and embracing the possibility of a brighter, more fulfilling future. Remember, recovery is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, capable of experiencing love, connection, and all the richness life has to offer. Imagine this. You're in a meeting and your boss offers some constructive criticism on a project. For someone with avoidant personality disorder, this can feel like an emotional earthquake. The fear of negative judgment is so deeply ingrained that even mild criticism can be interpreted as a personal attack. This hypersensitivity stems from their deeply rooted feelings of inadequacy. They already have a hard time seeing their own worth, so when someone criticizes them, it confirms their worst fears. One of the keys to managing this hypersensitivity is to challenge the negative thought patterns that fuel it. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, can be particularly helpful in this regard. CBT helps individuals identify, challenge, and reframe distorted thoughts. For example, instead of interpreting a colleague's suggestion as a personal attack, they can learn to see it as an opportunity for growth and improvement. It's about shifting from a place of "I'm always wrong" to "everyone makes mistakes, and that's okay." This process takes time and effort, but with practice, individuals with AVPD can learn to develop a more balanced and realistic view of feedback. They can begin to see constructive criticism as a chance to learn and grow, rather than a threat to their self-worth. Remember, everyone receives criticism from time to time. It's a normal part of life. By developing healthier coping mechanisms and challenging negative thought patterns, individuals with AVPD can learn to navigate feedback with greater resilience and confidence. Have you ever left a social situation and found yourself replaying every detail in your head? We all do this, to some extent. But for someone with avoidant personality disorder, this overthinking can be all-consuming. Imagine you're at a party, and you manage to have a brief conversation. Instead of feeling good, you spend the rest of the night dissecting it. Did you talk too much? Say something awkward? Were they secretly judging you? This relentless overthinking can be draining. The fear of saying the wrong thing becomes overwhelming. and that's the vicious cycle of AVPD. So, how can you tell the difference between normal post-social anxiety and the kind of overthinking that's associated with avoidant personality disorder? One key difference is the intensity and duration of these thoughts. If you find that you're constantly second-guessing yourself, ruminating on past interactions, and these thoughts are interfering with your daily life, it might be a sign that you need to reach out for professional help. Remember, you don't have to go through this alone. A therapist can help you understand the root of your overthinking, develop coping mechanisms to manage those thoughts, and gradually work towards facing your fears in a safe and supportive environment. Over time, with the right tools and support, you can break free from the overthinking trap and start engaging with the world in a more meaningful and fulfilling way. New experiences are an essential part of life. They help us grow, learn, and discover who we are. But for someone with avoidant personality disorder, the fear of the unknown can be paralyzing. They might shy away from new opportunities, whether it's a job offer, a chance to travel, or even just trying a new restaurant. This avoidance stems from that deep-seated fear of rejection, criticism, or failure that we've been talking about. Trying something new means putting yourself out there, and for someone with AVPD, that feels incredibly risky. What if they fail? What if they're judged? What if they embarrass themselves? So instead of taking a chance, they might stick to what's familiar, even if it's no longer serving them. They might stay in a job they hate, avoid meaningful relationships, or miss out on experiences that could bring them joy and fulfillment. It's important to remember that avoiding new experiences comes at a cost. It can lead to feelings of regret, isolation, and a sense of being stuck in a rut. While it's completely understandable to feel afraid, it's important to remember that growth and change often happen outside of our comfort zones. If you find yourself constantly saying no to new opportunities, it might be helpful to ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What's the worst that could happen? Challenge those negative thoughts and try to reframe them in a more realistic and positive light. Remember, you don't have to take giant leaps all at once. Start small. Try a new hobby, strike up a conversation with someone new, or say yes to an invitation that you would normally decline. Each step outside of your comfort zone, no matter how small, is a victory. We've covered a lot of ground today, and if you're watching this and relating to these signs, you might be feeling overwhelmed. But please know this: avoidant personality disorder is not a life sentence. It's a treatable condition. And with the right support, you can overcome these challenges and live a full and meaningful life. Remember, it's important to reach out for professional help if you're struggling. A therapist can provide you with the tools and strategies you need to manage your anxiety, challenge negative thought patterns, and gradually work towards your goals. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from it. And don't forget to subscribe to Psych Circles for more videos on mental health and well-being. Let's continue the conversation in the comments below. Have you experienced any of these signs yourself? What strategies have you found helpful in managing avoidant personality disorder? Your experiences and insights could be incredibly valuable to others who are going through similar challenges. Remember, you are not alone in this journey.